You're listening to Big World Network.
Delroy versus the Yshtari, Episode 7, Prelude to a Royal Feast. Written and read by Berin. The sun began to set over the mountains, casting an orange glow upon us and the compound. It would have almost been pretty if it weren't for the impending doom of attempting a rescue mission. "How did you get in here?" Stella asked. "Over there." I pointed to where I'd made the hole in the fence. But first, I pulled the dress and towel off, threw them aside, and rolled my pant legs back down. Stella turned to the other women gathered around. "Be ready to move when I get back with a ship to pick you up. We might have an Yshtari patrol on our tail." "Hold it. What ship?" Stella turned around. "We need another ship. Yours won't be able to carry everyone. Do you have a problem, Delroy?" "The name's Rex. And yeah, I do. There's enough room on the Rutherford's Revenge for everyone here, as long as we don't have to travel very far. But it won't fit all the men, too." "The men? You didn't say anything about rescuing them." This added a whole new level of complexity to our situation. "So we're going to infiltrate an alien base, get some ship parts, steal another ship, rescue a bunch of men, come back here to rescue the women, go back to my ship, repair it, and fly it out of here before the Yshtari can catch us." She nodded. "Something like that." "But that's impossible. Can't you think of a better plan?" "I'm making this up as I go. Besides, it beats sitting here waiting to be eaten." With that, she gave me a full-fledged smile. It was the most beautiful thing I'd ever seen. "Let's get going." I nodded and led the way to the hole in the fence. I went through first. Once I reached the other side, I offered my hand to help Stella up, but she refused it. So much for earning brownie points. She jumped to her feet with a practiced grace. "How far is it to your cycle?" "Just on the other side of that dune." "Then have the person on the other end of your earpiece come pick us up. It would save us some daylight." "How did you know about my earpiece?" "I thought it was well hidden." "I'm trained to notice such things." She drew out her pistol. "Now, tell your compatriot to get over here." "I heard," Mink said through the earpiece. "On my way, sir." A moment later, the hover cycle appeared over the top of the dune. It crept toward us at the pace of a Tyrrellian snail. "Today would be nice," I said into the hidden microphone. Stella examined the cycle as it approached. "Is that a bot riding it?" "Yes, my butler bot, Minx." I said to Minx, "Come on, you pile of junk. We don't have all day. Put some throttle into it." "But, sir, I don't want to risk crashing. I'm not programmed to ride one of these things." "We don't have time for safety. Now punch it. That's an order." "Yes, sir." A cloud of dust and sand exploded out from behind the cycle. It became a blur as it headed straight toward me. I barely dove out of the way in time as the cycle zipped past us. "Minx, you imbecile!" "Sorry, sir. I don't know how to stop. But I think I figured it out. I'll swing around and try again." "Do you always talk to your bot like that?" Stella asked. "Like what?" "In an insulting, condescending tone. You know, bots have feelings too." "What? Are you telling me you're one of those bot huggers?" "Not a bot hugger, but I do believe they are sentient and need to be treated with respect." In other words, a bot hugger. Minx finished a wide arc and raced toward us again with the cloud of dust trailing him. "Whoa, circuit head, slow down," I yelled. "I'm trying, sir." When he reached us, the hovered cycle skidded to a halt, sending Minx flying off the cycle and crashing into a boulder. Sand exploded around us with copious amounts hitting me in the face. And my mouth was open. Again. As I spit the sand out, Stella let out a beautiful, melodious laugh. Too bad it was at my expense. She climbed onto the cycle. "Hold it! That's my cycle. I drive." I walked up and stood next to the handlebars. After tucking the gun away, she picked up the helmet and goggles and put them on. "Just because you stole it from Impound doesn't make it yours. Besides, I'm in charge." "What? Since when?" "Since I'm the one with the bounty hunter license and you're the wanted criminal." I smiled when a better idea came to me. I went to climb onto the seat behind her. "Not so fast, Delroy. Sidecar." Feeling disappointed, I turned toward the sidecar and saw Minx already settled in. "Share it with a bot? I don't think so." Stella snapped the goggles in place and fired up the engine. "Get in or get shot." The look she gave me told me this wasn't a debate. I turned and climbed into the sidecar. "Move over, you big hunk of scrap metal." I pushed my way in, but had to lay sideways with my body sandwiched between Minx's square body and the side of the car. Before I could get comfortable, Stella hit the throttle and we were speeding off into the mountains. Stella handled the craft with expert precision, though her speeds were greater and more reckless than mine. And wouldn't you know, that blasted bot never complained once. If anything, that LED smile on his face told me he was enjoying himself. Jerk. About 15 minutes later, we reached a ravine and slowed down. The sun had now gone down, and we barely had any light left to navigate by. Stella stopped and dismounted. After removing the helmet, she went to the rear storage compartment and pulled out the scanner, the binoculars, and another earpiece. After putting the earpiece in, she said, "I'm going to see if I can find Trina and Mari. Then I'll get the ship. You go look for the parts you need to fix your ship." I said, climbing out of the sidecar. "I don't think—" I was interrupted when I fell out and smacked my shoulder against the ground. Ow! I stumbled back to my feet. "Anyway, I think it would be better if I stayed here and watched the hover cycle. That way, if you get in trouble, I can sweep in and rescue you." "We don't have time for that. We split up and do it my way. And don't even think about making a run for it, or I'll hunt you down, get your hide stuffed, and put you on display in my trophy room." I didn't like being ordered around by her, even if she was the most gorgeous creature in the galaxy. Instead of arguing, though, I got an idea. If I could convince her that I was more heroic than I really was, maybe she'd soften her heart toward me. "Okay, I've got a better plan. Since time is so precious, how about if I go rescue the men from the mines?" Minx tilted his head as he studied me. "Sir, I'm amazed by this nobility in you. This is making me have to reevaluate your character." "What do you mean by that? And how have you evaluated my character before now?" "That you are a conniving, self-serving, egotistical wart on the buttocks of humanity." "Hey, wait a second. I thought it was against your programming to insult your master." "It is, but you asked me to tell you how I assessed your character. I shared that assessment." Stella smiled and pointed at Minx. "I like him. But we're sticking with my plan. As noble as you think you are, I don't think you have the skills necessary to rescue the men. I'll try and get to them after I get the ship." She picked up the gear and ran up to the top of a ridge. I said to Minx, "Stay here and guard the cycle. I'll call you if I need you." "Yes, sir." I took off running after Stella. By the time I reached her side, she was lying flat at the top of the ridge and looking down on a gigantic fenced-in compound. I crouched next to her and examined the area as well. There were several Earth ships there, including a giant cruise ship. Another massive ship, though, dwarfed the Earth luxury liner. It was of Yshtari design. "What is that monstrosity?" I asked. Stella, who had been studying it, lowered her binoculars. "A very big problem." "Why?" "It's the Yshtari royal ship. It looks like it just arrived." "Why is that a problem?" "It means that they are going to need more food. A lot of it." "Oh."
This has been a presentation of Big World Network. Visit us on BigWorldNetwork.com for more free weekly series, or follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Thanks for listening.
You're listening to Big World Network.